Picture this. You've been studying English for, I don't know, maybe 1 year, maybe two. You know hundreds of words. You can write a nice email. You can read an article in English. You feel, okay, maybe pretty good about your level.
And then someone speaks to you, a real person talking at normal speed.
And suddenly, nothing. It's like your brain just stops working. You catch maybe 3 words, you smile and nod, you say, yeah, and hope that was the right answer.
Yeah. The international sound of, I have no idea what you just said.
Exactly. And then later you think, but I know this language. Why couldn't I understand? Well, today we're going to answer that question because there's one thing most English learners almost never practice, and it's the most important thing. It's listening. Hey everyone, welcome to Real World English, the podcast for people who want to use English in real life, not just pass a test. I'm Hannah.
And I'm Fred. And today's episode is called Train Your Ears, Not Your Eyes, which honestly, I think is one of the most important topics we've ever talked about.
I agree. And it's something I really wish someone had told me earlier, because I wasted so much time studying in a way that just didn't help me understand real English.
Same. We're going to talk about why listening is so hard, what's actually happening in your brain, and most importantly, what you can do to get better, starting today.
Let's get into it.
Okay, so Hannah, when you think about how most people learn English, what's the main method, like the classic way?
Textbooks, grammar rules, vocabulary lists. You read, you write, you translate. That's how most schools teach languages.
Right, and those things are useful. I'm not saying they're bad, but the problem is when you only study from books, you learn written English, and spoken English is very, very different.
Really different. Like, okay, I have a simple example. In written English, you might see, do you want to go? Clear, right? But if a native speaker says that quickly, it sounds like, do you want to go?
Joanna go. I love that. Yes. And if you've only ever seen do you want to on a page, you might not understand Joanna go at all, even if you know every word.
Exactly. So what happens is words get joined together, sounds change, some sounds disappear completely. This is called connected speech, and it's one of the biggest reasons that listening feels so hard for learners.
And the thing is, native speakers aren't trying to be difficult. They're not speaking fast to confuse you. That's just how speech works when it's natural and relaxed.
It's automatic for them. They don't even notice it. So when a learner says, please speak more slowly, the native speaker tries, but after about 10 seconds, they're back to normal speed.
Because that's their default. That's just how they talk.
And so if you want to understand real English, English in real life, you need to train your ears to understand it at that speed, with those connected sounds. You can't just wait for people to slow down for you.
Which is a bit uncomfortable to hear, I know, but it's the truth. And the good news is, it gets easier with practice, a lot easier.
So there's a term I love, the listening gap. Have you heard this?
Tell me more.
It's the gap between what you know and what you can understand when someone speaks. Like, you know the vocabulary, you know the grammar, but in the moment, when there's a real person speaking in front of you, it doesn't come together fast enough.
Oh, that's a perfect way to put it. It's like the knowledge is there in your head, but your ears can't access it fast enough. You understand when you read, but not when you listen.
Right. And the reason is processing speed. When you read, you control the pace. You can stop, go back, reread a sentence, but listening doesn't wait for you.
You can't pause a real person.
I mean, you can try, but it's awkward.
So your brain has to process the sounds fast, turn them into words, understand the meaning, all at the same time. And if you haven't practiced that, it's just too slow.
And when you fall behind, you panic. And the panic makes it worse. You miss the next sentence because you're still thinking about the last one.
Yes, I know that feeling so well. It's like trying to catch a bus that's already moving.
That is a great image, yes. And here's the important part. That processing speed only gets faster through listening practice, not through grammar study, not through reading more, through listening.
So you're saying it's like a muscle, you have to exercise it.
Exactly. Your ears are a muscle. Well, not literally, but the process in your brain is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger and faster it gets.
Okay, so I want to talk about something specific, the eyes problem, which is, and I think a lot of learners do this without knowing, using subtitles as a crutch.
Oh, yes. Okay, some people are going to be upset about this.
I know. But okay, so if you always watch English videos with subtitles on, what is your brain doing?
Reading. Your brain is reading because reading is easier and faster for it, so it just ignores the audio.
And by the way, if you're learning English and you don't know the word crutch, a crutch is the thing you use when you break your leg. You put it under your arm to help you walk. And in English, we use a crutch to mean anything you depend on too much, anything that stops you from becoming independent.
Like, I use my phone as a crutch. I can't remember anything without it.
Right. So subtitles can become a crutch for your listening. Your brain thinks, oh, I don't need to work hard. The answer is right there on the screen.
And so your ears never actually practice. You watch hours of English content and your listening doesn't improve because you're always reading.
Now, I want to be fair. Subtitles are useful. They can help you understand new vocabulary, new expressions. I'm not saying never use them.
But if your goal is to understand spoken English, real conversations, movies, podcasts, then you need to spend time listening without subtitles. Your brain needs to be forced to use your ears.
And honestly, this is why so many learners feel stuck. They feel like they're studying a lot, watching a lot of English content, and they're not improving. And it's because their eyes are doing all the work.
They're training their eyes, not their ears.
Exactly. Hence the title of today's episode.
Okay, so practical tips. What do we actually recommend? Let's give people something they can do.
Tip 1, and this is maybe obvious, but it matters. Listen to content that is a little above your level, not way above, just a little. So you understand maybe 70 or 80%. If you understand everything, you're not pushing yourself. If you understand nothing, it's just noise.
The sweet spot. You want to be in that comfortable, uncomfortable zone. You understand most of it, but you have to work a little.
And this podcast is hopefully right in that zone for a lot of you. We try to speak at a natural pace, but also use clear, accessible language.
Tip 2, listen to the same thing more than once. And I know that sounds boring, but it really, really works. First listen, you get the general idea, maybe 60%. Second listen, you understand more details. Third listen, you start to notice how the words connect, the rhythm, even little jokes you missed the first time.
I do this with songs too, actually. A song comes on, and the first time you kind of enjoy the melody, but after 10 listens, you know every word. You're not thinking about it, it's just in your head.
Yes, and that's the goal, that automatic understanding. When you don't have to think, you just understand.
Tip 3, try shadowing. Has anyone heard of shadowing?
Explain it. Some people might not know.
Okay, so shadowing is a technique where you listen to a speaker and at the same time or a second after, you repeat what they say. You copy their speed, their rhythm, their sounds. You're basically being a shadow of the speaker.
Like an echo.
Like an echo, yes. And it feels really strange at first. You might feel a little silly, but it's so effective because it connects listening and speaking at the same time. Your brain learns the sounds from the inside.
And tip 4, try to listen to different accents because English isn't one thing. British English, American English, Australian, Irish, Indian English, they all sound different.
And real life doesn't come with just one accent. So if you only practice with American English, the first time you talk to someone from Scotland, you might be completely lost.
I have been that person. I once talked to someone from Glasgow and I understood maybe 2 words in 5 minutes.
Glasgow is, for our listeners, a city in Scotland with a very strong, very beautiful, very challenging accent.
Very challenging. But the point is, the more variety you hear, the more flexible your ears become. And flexible ears means you can understand more people in more situations.
Okay, I want to talk about something that I think is really motivating. That moment. The moment when it all comes together. When listening stops feeling like work and starts feeling natural.
Oh, you mean when it clicks?
Exactly. When it clicks. And for people who don't know that expression, it clicks means something suddenly makes sense, like a lock clicking open. Everything just falls into place.
I love that expression. And I remember exactly when English clicked for me listening-wise. I was watching a show and I suddenly noticed I hadn't looked at the subtitles in 5 minutes and I had understood everything. I was shocked.
That's such a good moment.
I literally paused the TV and just sat there. Like, wait, did I just understand all of that without reading?
And you'd been building to that moment for weeks or months without knowing it. All those hours of listening, it was all adding up.
Exactly. And that's the thing about language learning. Progress is often invisible. You don't see it day by day, but then suddenly you have a moment like that and you realize, I've actually improved a lot.
So if you're in the middle of that process right now and it still feels difficult, I promise you, you're closer than you think, as long as you keep listening.
Keep listening. That's the key. Every hour you spend with your ears in English is an hour that moves you forward, even if it doesn't feel like it in the moment.
And honestly, podcasts, YouTube videos, movies, TV shows, music, even just listening to English conversations around you, all of it counts. All of it is training.
Your brain doesn't stop working just because you're watching something fun. It's always absorbing, always processing. So enjoy the content and trust the process.
Trust the process. I like that. Okay, should we do words and phrases?
Let's do it. Okay, this is our words and phrases segment, where we look back at some of the words and expressions from today's episode and explain them simply. Nice and easy.
First one, connected speech. This came up early in the episode. Connected speech is when words join together in fast, natural speech and sounds change or disappear completely. So going to becomes gonna. Want to becomes wanna. It's not bad English, it's natural English.
Second, a crutch. Fred used this one. A crutch is something you depend on too much, something that stops you from being independent. He used his dictionary as a crutch. He never tried to guess the meaning on his own.
Third, to fall behind. Hannah said this. To fall behind means to be slower than you should be, to not keep up with something. She fell behind in her English practice because she was very busy at work.
Fourth, the sweet spot. This is a great expression. The sweet spot is the best position between two extremes. Not too much, not too little. 30 minutes of listening practice a day is the sweet spot. Not too short, not so long that you get tired.
Fifth, it clicks. When something clicks, it suddenly becomes clear or easy after a period of confusion or practice. I studied French for months, and then one day the pronunciation just clicked.
And sixth, to absorb. To absorb something means to take it in slowly over time, like a sponge absorbs water. Children absorb language very naturally. They hear it around them and it just goes in.
And that's actually good advice for all of us, right? Be like a sponge. Just soak it up.
Be a sponge. I love it. Okay, that is it for today's episode of Real World English. Thank you so much for listening. And I mean that literally. Just by listening to this episode, you're already training your ears.
If you found this useful, share it with someone who's learning English. Every listener helps. And we'll see you in the next one.
See you next time. Bye.
Bye, everyone.